Super awkward FUN-CAST. You're listening to the Super Awkward FUN-CAST. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the exciting 31st episode of the podcast, Super Awkward FUN-CAST.
I have this.
You know I'm sick. I was sick and I was sneezing all in this area.
What's this other one?
On everything on my table, so you're getting germs.
I have this.
I literally sneezed right on top of that. Okay.
Why don't you wipe it down? You know someone's coming over.
I wanted to tell you beforehand. Oh, anyway.
I will touch everything. I just don't care.
Let's touch on some subjects that aren't the impeachment proceedings. The impeachment hearings that are a total farce.
Stupid.
So they had another one of those debates. Oh, this is Steven, by the way. Steven Robles.
I watched that debate. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the debates. I'm tired of hearing the same thing over and over. I don't need to hear it anymore.
I as well. It's all political theater.
Well, it's just nothing. The only entertaining part of it is Tulsi Gabbard. She's the most entertaining
she's
part
hilarious.
of any debate.
Oh,
because she's like, I don't give a fuck, and talk shit about me, and she fucking hates Kamala Harris, which I love. And
who doesn't?
A lot of people don't. A lot of
them don't. Actually, they don't have the guts to go after her.
They don't really care that she's someone who, for her own sake, will trample on civil liberties and
exactly.
Sleep her way to the top, and it's like
Willie Brown, everybody.
I mean, not that I have a problem with that necessarily, but if you're going to call out one person for it, then you got to call out everybody for it.
I agree.
And I don't see what people give her a pass on that. I do like her stance on marijuana. That's fine. I like that the fact that a Jamaican family got pissed off at her because she said she smoked weed. Like, that's kind of cool. But I'm just tired. I'm ready now. I mean, like, I'll tell my friend I'm ready for like mixed debates now, where it's opposing viewpoints, but everybody's agreeing on everything. And then you have like the worst mediators of all time. A bunch of like radical pundits. It's like, well, where's the other point of view? And there just isn't. And but then she pointed out there's no one, like, if they had a debate, it would just be all of them against Trump. Like, it wouldn't even be.
Yeah.
Republicans have nobody.
Oh my gosh.
A couple of guys,
I already forgot. I always forget that book. I'm gonna cough a lot. I always forget that Cory Booker is still in this.
Isn't it weird that his ears are a completely different color than the rest of his head?
I hadn't noticed that.
I couldn't stop looking at it.
I'll have to notice that.
I couldn't stop. First, his eyes are like, he makes his eyes like really wide when he talks.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
And his head is a beautiful shade of brown, but his ears are white, which is really weird. And it makes me think of like we're in the alien times, we're in the Star Trek times, where you have like the the people with the weird names and aliens, literal aliens.
They had a weird on Twitter, I saw this thread somehow, because I follow some interesting people, where they had a video of Nancy Pelosi and her eyes went all weird, and one of them changed shape. And then there was another one.
Well,
the one that I was originally looking at was this old dude who was a sports announcer or whatever. It wasn't even political, but like his eyes turned literally into like lizard eyes. It was
those are fake videos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And people like in the comments are like Photoshop, and it's like there's that Justin Bieber one from back in the day.
Oh, you can find a whole compilations of those.
Yeah, there's that theory.
But they're just fake videos. They're just people messing around.
Yeah, but even David Icke doesn't even hold to that theory anymore. Like he's beyond it. People like to say he's like the lizard guy, reptile guy, but like he's changed his position on that.
No, I'm sure he got confronted by some lizard people, so he stopped talking about it.
Oh. That's the tea.
Or he became a lizard person.
I mean,
that's most
he
likely
looks like
happen.
A lizard. Like
most people that are against a group of people want to be in that group of people.
Yeah.
So he probably was just angling to be a lizard person.
Like Bernie Sanders is a millionaire.
Okay.
Like, he wouldn't want to be a billionaire? Like...
No, I guess if you just love money, I guess, but
he must.
If you're a millionaire,
he loves making books.
If you're a millionaire, there's no point to being a billionaire because you have enough money, unless you just love money, that's what you want.
Or you want to do like your conglomerate, like media organization or whatever. Like recently, like today, which is the 24th of November. This will come out on Thanksgiving. Because we're going to keep with that tradition of releasing an episode on a holiday, because that's so fun. So, Bilderberg, oops, Freudian slip, Bloomberg came out today and he said he's running for president. He used to beat, or at least play, Bill Clinton and Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani at golf. And now he's finally going to defeat one of his golfing buddies. So let's be on the lookout for that.
He's not going to defeat anything.
He's not
like a trusted Democrat.
He's not a Democrat.
He's running as a Democrat.
Oh shit! I didn't see that he was running.
I know you just assume he's running as a Republican because he's a
no. Isn't he an independent?
He's running as
or
Democrat.
Allegedly, like
he's running as Democrat.
He believes he's an independent.
He might, but he's running as a Democrat.
Oh, of course he is. Fucking tards. I can't. Ugh.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. The Democrats aren't going to win.
It's all a joke.
It doesn't. Well, I know it is.
And there's no punchline.
All they can. Well, the punchline is 2020, 2024. That's the punchline.
Well, yeah, seeing history repeat itself.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like what South Park is doing.
I haven't watched it.
They were having a lot of interesting episodes with different topics. The most recent one that I saw was called Bored Girls, about the difference between males and females, and regarding sports and athletics and trans athletes and such, which I'm sure Joe Rogan got a kick out of because he loves talking about trans people in sports and body, what is it called? Not body lifting, that doesn't sound right.
Body lifting?
What do they call it?
You mean cheating?
Oh shit, whatever. Bodybuilding, that's it. Bodybuilding. And it was a strong woman competition, and strong woman was involved, and she lost to her ex-boyfriend who happened to be a newly transgender
right.
female.
Yeah, I know. I read about it. I didn't watch it, but I saw it. I read about it.
And the funny thing was the reaction, because a lot of the media took this shit. Like, they literally did exactly what was prescribed, what was going to be, what their response was going to be in the show, what they showed. Except they didn't see the nuance in anything like the PC babies in the show. They just became whiny little bitches. Upset
I didn't see anybody up in arms about it, except for that one person, that one trans athlete that's already up in arms about things.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about me.
You're talking about me. You're being so mean. Oh my God. I'm a woman.
You're
all
transphobic.
Women. You must be transphobic. And no one cared. Like, I was reading the thread with that person in it.
Yeah, me too.
And no one cared. Like, it was like, no, you're definitely barking at the wrong tree.
Yeah.
So it's good. People, we were just talking about this yesterday, and we talked about this on the show last time too, is, people are sort of coming around to this idea of, like, the way that the media manipulates us into fear and anger and division, the difference between media and journalism, and that people are now realizing that the two are now mutually exclusive, and there's not, media and journalism are the same thing.
There's so many bloggers out there too. Like,
well, bloggers are the scourge of journalism. They're pretty much why journalism died.
Yeah.
But it's and people don't realize, like, there's an agenda to these things. I was listening to your questions on the way up here that you asked these people.
We're gonna get into the Wall Street.
Yeah.
I went to Wall Street, literally, like, in New York, outside of the New York Stock Exchange, and I asked a bunch of questions.
They're pretty good.
People.
They're pretty good questions, and
they're based on. I should say they're based on David Hoffman's questions, but they extrapolate.
No, they're
on
not wacky. They're not like whacked out. They're like just general questions,
and they're not the same exact questions because I had to update it for this time, but that was
right.
in 1979. So 1979 versus 2019. Yeah. What do people think?
And it was interesting. It was interesting, but my point was that you ask one of them who controls society, basically, who's in control, and only one of them had a good answer, which was media, and that's it. Like that's what it is. Like, and in the media we count everything. We count the internet. We count TV, television.
Yeah.
Outlets for news, entertainment, and you count social media in that, and it's true. The media controls the world right now, and people are willing to be controlled by it.
Yeah.
You talk to some people about conspiracies, and none of them really had good answers on that, but it was I think it's just interesting to like hear people talk about these kinds of things. I mean, a few people were good. The lady at the beginning was a little rambling.
She was.
Didn't get a lot of her stuff.
I had to edit her a lot.
Well, I'm glad you never came back to her because she didn't.
I edited a lot of I edited everything.
Yeah. I mean,
I had to do a lot of editing of the longest interview, which was with her.
Yeah.
Bless her. Thank you so much for participating.
She had a nice
everybody.
body. She had nice cleavage. I enjoyed that.
Thank you, everyone, for participating, and ignore that comment if you're listening, because they will be listening sometimes.
They're not going to be listening.
No, I gave them the information about the show.
Oh, well, she was wearing a shirt that
some
showed
people
her
were
cleavage.
Like, when's it going to, air or whatever.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
Yeah, so thank you again to the participants in New York who helped me. And then it rained at one point. I was like, oh, shoot. And it was so scary because it was like the day before 9/11, too. So who knew what was going to happen with, like...
Probably 9/12.
Well, no. I mean, like, it was also lunchtime, and I didn't know if I was getting out there at the right time, and I had to wait. And a lot of it is waiting. So you don't just... It wasn't like with David Hoffman where people were flooding, because you already have a camera culture now. Everybody's got a camera in front of anybody. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this guy's got a video camera and we must be famous.
Yeah, and I think you took the right approach to it, because it's you don't want people that want to be on camera. You don't want those people. You want people that are like going to give you an answer, not going to try to showboat, grandstand. And none of the people really felt that way. None really felt like they were pushing a huge message.
I feel like they were happy to get asked these questions.
Yeah,
they had
like
always thought about this stuff, and they were like, wow. They came in like, I don't know about this. And then I start asking the questions, like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, because their questions were very sort of non-threatening. They were just sort of like, what do you think about this? What do you think of when I say this?
And again, shout out to David Hoffman, who started the whole thing.
Yeah, and there was no
in that wonderful video.
Yeah, so it's a good segment.
But let's listen to it. So the people.
Oh, we're listening to it now that
home,
we're done talking about the other stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to it now.
All right, see it in 10 minutes. Can you just insert it? Because we do have to.
Yeah, I was hoping we could do a reaction to it, but maybe not.
I'm giving you a reaction.
Okay, that's our reaction.
I just listened to the beginning when I came up here, so I'm
okay, perfect. That's like the first impression reaction. Roll the clip.
Your job.
My job. Well, I have to prove daily who I am, what I'm able to do. People keep thinking that as a woman I'm not able to do a lot of things that the guys can, and as a Latin woman I have the double of the challenge, but I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a challenge, so I'm there. I just keep trying to do my best every day.
Do you think governments have more power than corporations?
Yes.
How do you feel about social media?
So. I'm not encouraged.
And what do you think of when I say computers?
Information.
What do you think of when I say your job?
My job. Something that keeps me surviving, but doesn't particularly make me happy.
What about privacy? What do you think of?
Not New York. Probably think of being by myself.
What about privacy?
There is no such thing anymore.
There's no such thing anymore?
No.
Do you think governments have more power than corporations?
Oh yeah, most certainly.
How do you feel about social media?
It's rampant. It's everywhere. You can't escape it, and it's changed our society. It's changed how we interact, and it's changed how we view the world.
And what do you think of when I say computers?
Really and truly, when I hear the word computers, it reminds me of the 70s stuff. But computers are really almost an afterthought now. It's more software than hardware.
Do you think governments have more power than corporations?
I think so.
How do you feel about social media?
Social media is something that is developing fast and is helping our society. Somehow is helping, somehow is destroying it.
What do you think of when I say computers?
It's something that is useful. It's really useful nowadays.
And who do you think has power right now in society?
People with big money,
And why do they have the power, do you think?
because they have because the government somehow is giving them the power to decide what is going on in the future.
What do you think of when I say conspiracy?
I think it's a word that is too widely used today. It's not always like this.
What do you think of when I say conspiracy? Con?
C-O-N.
Okay. Who do you think has power right now in society?
Media.
The media? And why?
Those who control the information flow control society.
Okay, great. What about privacy?
We don't have it anymore.
Do you think governments have more power than corporations?
Not anymore.
How do you feel about social media?
Exposure.
What do you think of when I say computers?
Everyday tool.
What do you think of when I say the word conspiracy? Whatever comes to your mind.
Government.
What do you think of when I say conspiracy? The first thing you think of.
First thing I think of, science.
Science. And who do you think has power right now in society?
Upper class white men,
And why do you think that is?
because they've always had it.
How do you feel about social media?
Exposed, I would say.
What was that?
Exposed.
Exposed. What do you think of when I say computers?
Exposed.
What about conspiracy?
21st century reality.
Who do you think has power right now in society and why?
Elite groups.
Why do you think that is?
Too much power concentration.
And do you have any kind of debt right now, student loan or otherwise? And what do you think of corporations as a whole?
Too big to fail.
Instant communication.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp? Data or data?
Data.
No, I mean, like, what do you think of data or data?
Okay.
Whichever one.
Too many leaks.
Do you have any kind of debt right now, student loan or otherwise?
Oh gosh, no, I'm much too old to have student loans. I have some debt. I probably owe about $12,000. That's about it. I have a house and a couple of cars, and I'm at a certain age in my life where I'm not really buying many things.
And what do you think of corporations as a whole?
I think they serve a purpose. I really do. I think that things have changed so much. For example, if you look back 50 or 80 years ago, you had to have what are called natural monopolies. You had to have a company invest in the infrastructure to get the phones working. You had to put poles up and wires and all sorts of stuff, labor involved. That was something that was, you sunk a tremendous amount of money into it. You had to amortize it over time and reap your profits. Corporations today are just so much different, it's hard to even define them.
What do you think of when I say instant communication?
Not much. I mean, just almost like a thought. Today, you think something and it's on the internet and someone's commenting on it.
What about instant communication? What does that make you think?
Cell phone, iPhone.
What about data or data?
Privacy issues.
And do you think there's too much data or data?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
It's just all out there. It's like there's no. Everything you do is, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, there's information about you out there.
Conspiracy. I totally believe in conspiracy, so I believe that someone and somewhere are controlling us to do something for a purpose that we don't know what is.
And who do you think has power right now in society?
United States.
And why?
I don't know. Just because of their history and how money they have to do what they want with the army and the corporates. It's just a historic belief. I'm not sure why, but it's just what I believe.
And do you have any kind of debt right now, student loan or otherwise?
What?
Any kind of debt? Like, are you owing anyone in the government?
No.
Okay. And what do you think of corporations as a whole?
Control us to have our money, to buy something, to sell something, to have anything that they want us to have.
And what do you think when I say instant communication?
Instant communication, like linguistic?
Whatever comes to your mind.
I don't know.
What about data or data? Information?
Wow, they keep everything that belongs to us. They know how much money we have. They know everywhere we go. They control everything. They keep it. I believe that someone knows what I'm doing right now, where I am right now, how much money I have right now, and this is too scary.
Do you think there's too much information?
Yeah.
Back to the show. I was watching the SNL from last night with Will Ferrell, and they did a debate-like thing. It was 12 unfunny minutes long.
Well, it's Saturday Night Live.
Of course, it's
57 unfunny minutes.
I know.
No, I've actually given sometimes there's about 5 minutes of funny in there.
Yeah. I don't know who those writers
minutes.
are, but they're not writing the rest of the show. Or maybe they're like freelance or something. I don't know.
No, it just...
But it was insane. Like, they couldn't do anything about Tulsi. They couldn't make any jokes. So they said she was the villain of the debate. And then they did a Cruella de Vil impression. And they thought that was serviceable as a joke. I just was like, okay, that's all you got to say about this chick, okay.
I can't even understand what you're saying to me. Like, that sounds so stupid.
It is so stupid.
And you think these...
And the people in the comments section, I was like, how are you they're not thinking. They're thinking politically.
Well,
they're thinking about their team. They're thinking about Hillary Clinton. They're like, go after her. Yeah, it's a perfect impression. It's just insane. Like, shut up.
There's like 12,000 writers in that show.
Also,
This
the
is
Bernie
best they
jokes
come up
weren't good either. Like, gosh, get better writers.
I liked. Have you seen the interview with James Adomian and Bernie Sanders?
No.
James Adomian is
I saw Bernie tweeting that because I know a lot of
it's really
Bers
funny
on Twitter.
James Adomian's a comic.
Yeah.
And he does this Bernie thing.
He was on at midnight as him.
He and another guy do Bernie versus Trump thing. Like they tore the show around, and the guy that plays Trump is pretty good too. Mm-hmm. But James did this interview with Bernie Sanders as Bernie Sanders, and it was pretty funny. You can tell Bernie was amused by it, which I thought was pretty funny. But
yeah,
James is really good. He's like a great comics, and So if you get a chance to look at it, Adomian Bernie versus Bernie, like that's what you want to look up, and it's really good. It's pretty funny. It goes on a little bit long, but it's not bad. It's not boring.
I want to shout out to another comedian who also has a podcast, Tim Dillon. Very cool dude. He was just on Joe Rogan, and I was watching him talk about 9/11 and the Franklin cover-up. Not in that order. The Franklin cover-up first, and then the Franklin case, which was about the pedo ring in Omaha, Nebraska in 1988, and then he talked about 9/11 and JFK, and he went to Dealey Plaza and all this stuff. The dude's a really cool dude. I like his tweets. He doesn't take anything seriously, which is great in a comic. And so I liked his podcast when I first heard it. Tim Dillon is Going to Hell. Now it's the Tim Dillon podcast, or they were two different things. I don't know. But he's pretty cool. He's one of my favorite comics. Obviously, Dave Chappelle's number one at the moment because he's not always out there all the time, so you don't get tired of him, so that's nice. It's nice to have those guys you can go back to. Bill Burr, another one. You don't get too much out of him. Unless you listen to the podcast, then I'm sure you get a little burnt out.
Well, and Dave Chappelle's literally 6 specials on Netflix right now, so he's a little overexposed.
He's overexposed, but he doesn't have a podcast, so that's helpful.
No, we'll never see him on a podcast.
No, he'll never do it. He might do a podcast, but
he might do one, yeah, but he'll never.
He would never.
No.
Oh, man, he would be so good on Joe Rogan. Oh. Bill
He
Burr.
might. I could see Joe trying to antagonize him a little bit.
That'd be so funny.
Because Dave Chappelle is a conservative. He's not a liberal. And
I disagree.
No, he is. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a fact. It's not my assumption or opinion. He's a liberal. He's a conservative. He's not a Democrat. He's definitely leans on the Republican side of things. He doesn't. That's why he doesn't insult Trump, because he will say, "All right, I'm not going to insult Trump." It doesn't make any sense. Because the liberals and the Democrats disgust him because of the way that they are with their PC bullshit and the way that they are with their woke blindness and all this other bullshit. But he's always leaned toward the conservative side. Like him and Norm Macdonald are both conservative comedians.
I disagree.
I'm not. It doesn't matter if you disagree. It's what it is.
You literally don't know him though.
I know him more about him than you do, but it's definitely I'm friends with Neil Brennan, and we used to talk a lot about.
I used to be friends with him on Facebook when I had Facebook.
In life, I was friends with him, and
I met him. Whatever.
Okay, well,
shout out to Neil.
I used to book him, but
okay, you know him
right.
obviously.
So we
more.
talked about Dave Chappelle a little bit, and he corrected me right away when I thought Dave was liberal. And I figured it's because Dave is black and he's angry. I figured he'd be liberal, but he's not.
Well, I wouldn't call him liberal or conservative, but that's just because I don't think labels.
Well, the thing is, he's more conservative than liberal. He's not a liberal.
I think some people would say that I was more conservative than I am liberal.
You are. You definitely are not a liberal. I wouldn't never call you that.
I know that.
I wouldn't call you. I would say you lean more to the conservative side, like I do. But I think that a conservative leaning liberal,
traditionally conservative, not
a conservative leaning liberal is more like what the Democrats were like in the 70s and 80s. And because they were more concerned with social conscience and social liberalism than they were financial liberalism. And, the Democrats I grew up with and that I was a part of when I became a voter were fiscally conservative but socially liberal. And that's kind of what I'm like, where I believe in personal liberties. And I believe that every American should have the same rights as every other American, regardless of skin color or whatever they do. But that money is a finite resource, as it should be, and that it should be spent in a responsible manner, and that if like my conservative side says, if the states want something, the state should pay for it. The federal government shouldn't really get involved in things that individual states want unless it's something the state can't achieve on its own. And then the federal government should prop them a little bit because it's the job, but until the state can get rolling. And then it's like, so like, you know, like California wants all this federal money to fight wildfires, but that's not the federal government's job. The federal government's job is to maybe clean up.
It's to make them.
Is to clean up after the fire when the fire happens and to help people clean up. But the responsibility
and give firefighters many diseases so that they can
right. But the fundamental role of a state is to, you know, prevent these fires and to allocate the funds where they're needed, and they don't do that. And so
they don't do a lot of what they should do.
Because like I think California would be served better under conservative governorship than it is liberal governorship. And that's because the unions have such a stranglehold in California
conservative.
They just fall into lockstep with a Democratic governor, and the Democratic governor, as you can see now, with this guy that's in office now, just screw everything up.
He's like, we've seen some bad ones, but he's a real piece
and
of work.
I would be a little more lenient to him if he gave some indication of why he does the things he does, like what the reasoning or rationale is behind it. But they don't do that. No one does that. And it's like, you know,
there's no responsibility.
You can't. You're calling Trump a dictator, but here you are just doing things in California.
And that's all they do on Twitter is just attack the president instead of doing their goddamn job.
But Newsom is doing things without voter approval.
Fuck.
And no one says anything. Well, they do say a lot about it. But
and the fucking Pacific, and I forgot, PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric.
Right.
Like, god damn it. Like, you knew what was going on with
No, of course they did. And now they're scrambling to... And
he smiled in the interview and he was like, oh yeah, we're going to give them control, da da da. And then when they all went to shit, he's like, well, it's their fault. But you put them in charge, you fucking tard.
Well, but if there was nothing to burn, then the fires wouldn't have anything to burn, right? So it's like the state of California gets money, billions of dollars, to prevent wildfires, and the money goes nowhere. It doesn't go.
I'm sure it goes into someone's pocket.
Well, it goes. Oh yeah, I mean, it goes. It doesn't go anywhere where it's needed.
None of the money goes to where it's needed in this fucking state.
I mean, the best story of the last fire thing was at the Nixon. No, was it the Nixon? No, the Reagan Museum where they have the goats that eat all the plants around the thing, so the dry brush doesn't accumulate. And that museum, the library, didn't burn because there was nothing to burn around it. And like people make fun of Trump saying, "Well, just rake up the leaves," like. I understood what he meant by that. He meant clean up your shit. Like you have all this dry brush laying around and all these homeless people.
If we had someone like President Bush who was clearing brush all the fucking time.
Well, he was Bush. But it's like you have all these homeless people sitting around outside. Put a rake in their hands. Put some gardening tools in their hands. Have them go out there and clear away this brush and pay some money. So
it's also like the fucking outdated system of the PG&E and these companies that don't make sure that areas are safe.
Right.
And then they put people at risk.
Right. And then they
make them pay for it.
Well, what they do, they blame climate change.
Ugh, so annoying.
Right? It's so dumb. And
just like Amazon, like the Amazon was burning and had been burning for quite some time, and they were like, it's climate change. No, it had nothing to do with climate change,
no.
Dumbasses.
And guess what? That fire, it's not the only fire that's ever happened there. It's not the only fire that will ever happen there.
It's just the one you heard about.
It's just an election year topic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And this will all go out the window in 2021.
Everything else has. Everything else they brought up.
And then immigration will not be an issue until it's election time again.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Oh, Prince Andrew. We got to talk about Prince Andrew.
What about Prince Andrew?
Think about it. That dude did an interview on BBC. Of course, BBC, which helped protect Jimmy Savile back in the day. They were helping him get some more attention and lie to the public even more in embarrassing ways.
What was he doing? What's he lying about?
Well, he was saying how... This is my favorite part of it. I can't sweat, so I couldn't have had sex with that woman because I can't sweat. And
wait, what woman? What are you talking about?
Virginia Roberts or Virginia Giuffre, who accused him of having sex with her, when she was 15 or so. And in the slave cult that is the whole harem of the Epstein situation.
Oh, right. I remember now, yeah. Well, he's a royal, like, the royals, they have sex with 12 and 13-year-olds. Like, that just seems to be, like, what royal families do. Right? You see the pretty little maiden in your fucking thing, and, what? You love Prince Andrew that much?
What are you talking
about? Why are you waving me off? Do you not want to talk about
No, I want you to stop playing with my card.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that.
Fuck.
Sorry, it's with my hands to do.
All right, Prince Andrew, royal fucks.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't see anything
Charles
going on there.
What's her face?
Yeah, they all do.
They also helped. I don't know if they helped Hitler, but they benefited from the Nazis. And
you mean the Nazis completely leveled London with their bombs? How they benefited?
There's a connection to the Nazis. I don't remember exactly, or Hitler specifically, but I don't remember exactly enough to say anything. So I should not say
Hitler
anything.
kicked the shit out of them. That's their
whatever. Anyway,
their relationship to him.
There were American industrials. I know more about that, so I should stick with America.
Well, of course, America was giving arms to everybody. It wasn't our war at the time.
Anyway, here we go. Okay, so there's this whole connection with Jimmy Savile and the royal family as well. They were friends. Like Charles was good friends with Jimmy Savile, who was a kids show. Like Jim will Fix It was the name of his little show, where he fixed random stuff for children, like on TV and on the BBC. And he was a prolific pedophile, allegedly, and it didn't come out until he died that he had done all these things.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
So did he get knighted? I think he even got knighted. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, I just don't buy the bullshit they ever sell. And then I know I watched The View just to see what shit they were talking about, because they were mentioning the royal family, and I wanted to know if his name popped up, Prince Andrew. And no, they didn't mention him at all.
They're talking about him. They're talking about Meghan Markle.
Exactly. They were talking about her. They were talking about all this shit that had nothing to do with the most recent news in London, and is being like, I can see on the corner, like on the right side, like they have like suggested videos on YouTube. Yeah, I still use YouTube, whatever. And they had like The Guardian or like any BBC kind of thing, and it was talking about Prince Andrew and his fucked up shit, and like him resigning and stuff. And they didn't say shit. They didn't say shit about it. It just shows you even more that you're just supposed to keep tight-lipped on this shit.
To be honest, like, who on The View is going to care about Prince Andrew?
Well, they care.
Like Meghan Markle because she's American, but
they shouldn't care about. Yeah, I guess they're American.
Who cares about what's happening in England? Like, no, England don't care what's happening here.
But they shouldn't talk about the royal family if they're not going to talk about the royal black sheep in the family.
It's not The View, man. Like, it's not.
But they talk about Trump is bad all the time, and the impeachment hearings, which go nowhere. And they're acting like they have all this information.
Because he's the American president, and that interests their viewers, because their viewers are American. So they talk about American
Then
stuff.
don't talk about the British at all. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Meghan Markle's American.
But the family that she married into isn't.
Yeah, but she is.
So what does that have to do with America? And
she's American.
Whatever.
That's it. People want to know about her because she's American. People want to know about Americans in Britain.
And she's black. That's
there's that,
reason.
and it's a woman too.
Because of the woke politics that we got going on, where we got to talk about how racist the royal family is and da-da-da-da. Which, of course, they are.
The royal family is a waste of space. I mean, they really don't. Like, they have no monarchical powers. They're just
get all this attention.
They're just a tourist attraction.
It's so funny.
Well, that's because they're the most visible monarchy on the planet. So you've got to, people enjoy seeing them. They make money off taxes. The people in Britain pay for them to live in that palace, and I mean, if you talk to British people, like 80% of them don't care much for the royals and don't understand why they're famous. Most of the people around the world care about the royals, not the people in England. So.
Yeah.
They're a tourist attraction.
Oh, there was this thing going on, this misinformation thing that I got to the bottom of pretty quickly in the comments section of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube comments section again, for enlightening me on this stupid video of this gentleman who you may have heard about this, because the fringe people who believe everything that they see, not me, thank you very much, will go on and be like, oh, the royals are pedophiles and there's proof, and then they say that this child ran out of a window at the royal palace, blah blah blah, and it's on video. And I looked at the video and I'm like, I don't know about that. That's not a child, one, and also this is definitely something that was staged. And it turned out that it was staged for the show The Royals, and it was an older gentleman, like 20-something, and he ran out the window, and it was on camera, and it was just a scene being played out. But they go with this shit, and you have to be like, listen, use your fucking brain. Stop believing everything you see. You gotta get evidence, dude. Like, stop. They're not gonna throw that out there in front of you and be like, oh, this is what we do. They're not gonna do that to you. That's so stupid.
No, people.
So much just misinformation, and it's just people being stupid.
It's
confirmation bias.
It's a bunch of stupid people.
Yeah, but people, a lot of stupid people sharing a lot of stupid information can get a lot of people in trouble.
Or just one troll.
Oh man!
We were talking about trolls.
Do you ever watch Black Mirror?
I've seen, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I watched something in real life and it reminded me of Black Mirror, but I can't remember what it was. I was like, this is like an episode of Black Mirror, right?
Yeah, I was talking online to somebody because we're talking about the homeless situation, and they were like, well, what they should do is just build a camp somewhere where they can just take them out there and give them a shower and give them medicine and keep them off the streets, because people are starting to hurt these homeless people. And they're hurting themselves and each other. And I was like, yeah, it's just... And then watch the libs sit up and be like, oh, it's a concentration camp. I said, you're not going to ever get away with that. Even though that makes sense to isolate the problem, clean them up, educate them. Like, that all makes sense, but the liberals know that'll happen. The liberals don't want answers to any questions. I said, but it wouldn't be... I said, but to be fair, it would probably be liberal trolls pretending to be liberals, and then just we're going to rile up the more gullible people. And then you got this concentration camp thing going on, and no solution becomes available. But no one actually wants to help anybody, right? Because now it's like, what's his face? The Amazon guys like donating all this money, like a lot of money, to try to solve the homeless problem or help solve the homeless problem in California. And I was like, that's cool. I said, but if I was that guy, and I gave money to these people, I said, here's the stipulation on that. None of this money goes to administrative costs. None of it. None of it goes to pay the CEOs of these organizations.
There you go.
None of it goes to pay the people working there. If they want to do that, they do it themselves. But that money needs to go directly to helping people, and not to contractors, not to building costs.
Exactly.
But to actual, literal things like paying for their health insurance, buying them food, paying for medicine, like inoculations or treatment. But it cannot go to administrative costs of organizations. That's your responsibility. And if you guys can't keep yourselves afloat, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And but of course, not going to do that. And all the money's going to go to these fucking people. But that's why the Democrats. That's why I don't consider myself a liberal these days, because that's what it is. It's just hypocrisy. I've registered as a Democrat, and I look at the Democratic Party as my party, basically. But right now they're just a bunch of bullshit. I hate everybody in it. Well, almost everybody, but I hate most of the people in it, and I don't like what they're doing. But you can't talk about that with anybody because they get so angry. Right. Because I think what they get angry because I have this friend who thinks she's woke, and it's fine. She's trying. So I give her that benefit. Like, she's trying to earn, but she only gets her news from liberal slanted news sources. So it's hard to talk to her about things in an impartial way, because she's gonna be like, cause I'm talking about my example right now is Okay, you have this impeachment process going on, which is, whatever, it's happening.
No, it's just so frustrating.
No, I know.
Seeing...
But then I'm thinking, okay, so all the effort these people are putting into the impeachment process, if they put that much effort into solving real problems,
exactly,
like what could get done? She's like, oh no, and I've told this before, so she's ready, right? Oh no, I looked it up. They have 120 bills that they put into Congress, into the system, and Mitch McConnell's holding them all up. And I said, well, okay, then why don't they focus all the energy on breaking that roadblock then?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't they focusing all of this energy on Mitch McConnell to get him to move those bills past Congress?
And maybe not saying yay to a bill that expands the Patriot Act.
Right. And I said, so there's plenty of things going through that are happening. I said, but I look at, like, the bills that they're talking about, and some of them, I said, but I also wonder, like, what else is on those bills that Mitch McConnell's not pushing through. So he might look at it and say, well, okay, this doesn't necessarily serve the nation. It serves a part of the nation, but let me look at this. Because, again, another guy, like, he just stepped up and said, this is why I'm doing all this stuff. This is an itemized situation of why I don't pass these bills. This is what they don't do that. And they just did that. It was to end things. But he has no interest in ending things because it just puts his name in the news and creates this conflict. And, the Democrats are just, like, fighting a windmill. They're tilting at windmills with this Trump thing.
It's so weird because I looked at a little bit of it, like, of the proceedings, and it's like, it's hearsay. Like, there's just, dude heard this guy saying this thing.
He overheard that.
It's like high school shit.
I overheard this.
I'm like, what? I mean, at least in the Bill Clinton case, like, you had him perjure himself.
Yeah.
He lied. There's evidence.
And see, I also think that whole situation was stupid, too.
My only issue was the perjury. I didn't care.
Well, I don't even care. Like, what he perjured himself about doesn't really matter to me or anybody else. But the fact was that actually Bill Clinton was actually a working president. Like, while he was in office, he was trying to actually get things done. But because he had to be in court every day, regardless if he was trying or not, he wasn't getting anything done. He was there every day. And I think that's what Trump's trying to avoid, is he doesn't want to be caught up in court every day because he likes to do things. He wants to be out there doing stuff.
Like golf.
Well, but the reason for the golf things is because...
They all do golf. Like, I hate when people go out
Well, but the
for
thing
the
about
golf
the golf thing is that when he's on the golf course, there's no one there.
Why do they all do golf? Is that ever...
Well, I'm telling you right now, because when you're out on the golf course, there's no one else there. It's not like you can be in a room that has recording devices in it.
But sometimes they golf with each other and stuff.
Well, they can golf with each other, but there's only two people. That's it. There's only two people talking. It's not like other aides.
Don't they use
around.
that to, like, get information from other
people? They do that to keep themselves out of the public, right? Because there are things that when you're in command of things and you're in charge of stuff, there are things that you don't need your team to know right away.
Do you think Elizabeth Warren would do golf? Would play golf?
No.
Do you think a woman would play golf? That's a good question.
No.
Like, if a
maybe
woman was president,
Hillary Clinton might have played
play
golf. She's pretty sturdy.
I've never seen her play golf, so I can't say.
Well, she's, I'm just thinking, like, physically, like, if you look at the women that play golf, they're physically bigger women.
I don't know a lot of them.
Well, just look at LPGA. You can go online and look at any women's golf game and see, like, what kind of women that play golf are the same kind of women that play softball, the same kind of women that play volleyball. They're athletes. So they are bigger women. I think Hillary Clinton's the only woman that kind of fits that bill because she is definitely, like, a big woman. There's a potential to be, like, a fat woman, but she's just big. And Bill Clinton occasionally played golf. Obama occasionally played golf. Yeah, he didn't
do, like, Bush level golf.
No, but those guys go out there because there's no one there to hear them. And it's because look what happens to Trump when he talks about anything in the White House. Somebody goes and reports it. Somebody goes and takes it out of context.
But I think they talk to their, like, administration people, like, while they're playing golf.
Sometimes. Most of the time it's just the Secret Service is 75 yards away.
I could see something like
there's a couple of people playing golf and they just talk about things. There's no bugs there.
Yeah.
Right? That's why he goes to Mar-a-Lago a lot, because Mar-a-Lago, there are no bugs there.
I haven't heard of him going to Camp David as much as the past presidents.
No, because whenever you go to Camp David, the media is there too. Like you can't keep the media out of there. So
exactly.
They just, it's like they don't want him around. It's like when they get mad because Trump doesn't go to these state funerals. But why would he do that? Why would he go and make himself the focus of these things and just draw?
And then they get mad at him if he's there.
Well, like, but that level is not. That's easier to deal with than it is. Oh, Trump went to George W. Bush's funeral.
Imagine if he went to the Cummings guy's funeral.
Yeah, no, it would just be about him.
Oh my god!
And they would never let him go. They would
be like, he went to the civil rights leaders.
Right, and they'd be sitting, and they'd be there'd be one camera on him the whole time. They would just scrutinize him constantly. They would take these out of context. Every gesture, every motion, every facial movement would be taken out of context. And there's just no point to that. That's a fight you don't need.
They would have been pissed if he went to Aretha Franklin's funeral too.
He was probably friends with her. Like, anybody in entertainment is probably friends
Again,
with.
these people are so full of shit, and they know they're full of shit because they used to like him too.
Well, that's like Robert De Niro.
Newsflash.
He's like, fuck Trump. And I'm thinking...
He loved Trump.
I'm thinking, if you're from the East Coast, you're an actor, you partied with Donald Trump. Like, you partied with that guy.
These people put him on a pedestal, and now they're trying to...
Yeah, but I kind of think like they do it to discredit him, because at some point Donald Trump's going to come up and say, who are you talking about, Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, is Trump doesn't do that. He's never done it. He's never done it in his life.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
He's never done it. He's not done it as a president where he does not throw people under the bus. He doesn't come out, he can have so much stories about Bill Clinton.
All
Hillary
these
Clinton.
dudes with the tell-alls and shit too, like.
And I think
administration.
there's one coming from him at some point. Like, I think there's one going to come out.
They know that's where the money is, and
right?
Like,
and they can
spilling the tea.
Well, even though, like, I don't think Donald Trump would do it for money. He would just do it just to be like, you guys.
I mean these guys now, these fucking dudes.
So they're all trying to discredit
the
him.
GoFundMe fucking fucktards who were in the administration or in some kind of situation as FBI agents or something. FBI agents don't need our fucking money. Let's just say that.
Well, it makes me laugh at how the FBI now is like the paragon of virtue, and before it was like never trust.
They never
the FBI.
had anything to do with
never
MLK.
trust the CIA. Oh, but now
his death.
Now they're just the valiant heroes of the of Elliot Ness, and
we just forget about the past and J. Edgar Hoover.
Right, it's just a bunch of bullshit, and it's so like, I don't know, it's sad. Like you were talking about your video in your questions.
I will link that below, by the way.
You asked a woman about conspiracies, and she said, I forgot now. God damn it, I lost my train of thought. But she was kind of talking what we were talking about just now, where it's like, shit. I forgot. She made a good point, though, whatever it was. Listen to those interviews, because there's
a lot of goodies in there.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. There's one guy that's just completely unintelligible. Like, I have no idea what he was talking about, but like that thing.
You gotta have a mixture. So I didn't.
Well, I mean, I literally couldn't understand what he was saying. Like, it wasn't.
I couldn't
like,
put. Oh yeah, I think
it's like a thin black man with a baseball cap on, like with a black jacket and black baseball cap, and he just like he's completely illegible. But I listened to him a couple times. Like, what is he saying? Like, I don't understand. Because he asked him about something. He's like. Something says United Way, and I was like, okay, United Way. And I listened to it again, I was like, I don't know what he's saying. Maybe put some subtitles on that shit.
So I got like a mixture of different kinds of views in there, and I had to edit it to make it look like I wasn't favoring like a specific point of view. Which I think I did a pretty good job doing that. Mm-hmm. I really focused on that, like trying to give everybody some space.
Well, and it's not your fault what their answers are. Like,
yeah.
Your questions were just very neutral, and
yeah,
and you didn't push them towards anything. I like the one where you were like, when you were asking them like, what do you think about this when I say this? What do you think about that when I say this? And you were like, data or data? And the guy's like, data. And you laughed, and I was like, that's a good one. Like, that's what I thought. Because when you said that, that's what I thought, too.
I know.
And I thought, oh. And then he answered the question, and you're like, no. I was like, oh, she's asking, what do you mean by data?
Oh, that's good.
I know, and he was like,
I don't ever know how to say it. I will say it both ways. Because I've heard it
I'll
both
tell you,
ways.
as an interviewer, what you should just use the word data, because there's no confusing what that word is. And if you say data, it could be mistaken for something else, like data. But if you say data, as an interviewer...
I was thinking that as I was saying.
Yeah, as an interviewer, just use the word data, because everybody understands what that means, and it doesn't sound like anything else. And
I just don't... I like data better.
Well, whatever your concern is, I'm telling you, for your interviews, it makes it... So you have to keep repeating it over and over and over, because that got a little tedious. So it's
I'm sure.
All you got to do is just say data. People.
I kind of rolled with it. I kind of made it part of the thing.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that's how
when you do something like that, you gotta like point it out.
That's how you cut through the BS. Is you just say data. Because
I could either like cut that part out, or I could just like roll with it. And I chose to roll with it. Dude, like getting that dude's car, or dude, I don't know if it was a dude. Somebody's car was in the background, and I had to like use that tool in in the editing software where I had to like blur the letters, and that was fun. I learned a lot that day. Novice editor here.
Well, you
never had to blur anything.
You don't if you're conducting a journalistic interview, you don't have to blur the background. It's not necessary.
I did it only because it was a license plate number, and I didn't want to have any issues coming up in the future.
Well, there'll be no issues for you. I mean,
Yeah.
legally, there's no issues for you in that case. Because
I didn't block out like any of the stores.
Yeah,
or
no, you don't
like
have to.
that.
And even the license plate, you don't have
Obviously
to. Because
don't
the
have
license
to.
plate
Yeah.
is publicly open.
Just, I wanted to cover my bases.
Just saying.
With YouTube and their stupid algorithm and everything. So, and it's going to go up on YouTube. It should be up now when you hear this. So, look out for it. I did one in LA as a pre-game one. And so that one's already up on YouTube. Has 11 total views. So, I did a really good job there. Or I may be confusing it with the burger taste test. I don't know. Because that one, I think, had 11 views. And I was like, 3 views or something on that one. But whatever. It'll have more, I'm sure, in the future.
Maybe.
But that one was interesting, too. I got a lot of interesting stuff there. And that one was on the, what is it, 8th? Damn, when was 9/11?
September 11th.
Dude. It was the 8th. Yay, I'm right. So I left on the 9th to go to New York the next day. And I stayed at a hotel in Midtown. Yes. And so I was in the middle of everything. I could walk a lot of places. So that was really good. On Fifth Avenue. Where Trump said that he could shoot someone and it would still vote for him. And I was right across from Trump Tower. So perfect.
There you go. Oh,
and then there was one day.
You didn't make a fuck Trump picture like everybody else does?
No, but there was one day I was like walking out to the bus stop, and this dude had a bunch of like placards and shit, and he was by himself, the poor thing, and he was protesting Trump by himself. And I'm like, you're in the wrong place. You need to go to D.C., sir. You don't need to be here. He's over there now, so go over there.
I thought What's-Her-Face lived in there. I thought...
And then it's right next to Tiffany's, so that makes sense. Like,
Tiffany Trump.
If he ever had to go to, like, that's probably where her name came from. But, like, if he had to, like, you know, he got in the doghouse or whatever, he had to go next door, get some jewelry, and come back. Easy peasy,
He
lemon
doesn't go
squeezy.
next door. He just calls them up and be like, hey, bring me something.
Or, he calls them.
Bring me, like,
course.
20 bracelets.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Oh, that was fun. So that was a good time. There wasn't that much rain. And New York, still a mess when it comes to certain things, but other things, you know, it's pretty cool being in the parks and stuff, and nature, and seeing all the birds and shit. So I enjoy birds and squirrels and whatnot.
And the birds feel that way. They're like, oh, you know, we're in New York. It's like, it's okay. The park's are small. There's like a few trees, but the people.
Yeah, it's all about the
like
people.
Shitting on the people's heads is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't have a good view in my hotel room, but at least I couldn't hear the elevator. I was very thankful that I couldn't hear the elevator as much as I thought I could, because I was near the elevator, but I still didn't hear a lot of commotion going on outside. So I was still far away because it was a big hotel. Like, some hotel rooms are little boxes and shit, just like little apartments in New York. But this one happened to be a nice hotel room. I paid extra money for it to be nice. And so it was bigger. And so I was farther away from the door than I would normally be on my bed. So that was very nice. I enjoyed that. Shout out to that hotel.
That's a good shout out, man. Solid.
That great hotel on Fifth Avenue. No muss, no fuss, no mini fridge. Just, you know, a little bit of cable.
Just a little bit?
A little bit of cable. Very little bit. Like, I'm like, where's the rest of the cable? Y'all stopped at this channel? Okay, we're just going to A&E. All right, cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Or FX or whatever.
I'm at my friend's house. She has television. I just watch Food Network. I don't really watch anything else on there.
I think they had Food Network. They
Yeah.
didn't have anything. They had MSNBC. I think they had CNN, but I don't know. I don't think they have Fox.
Yeah, my friends didn't have Fox either, and it bums me out because I prefer watching Fox News because it's more entertaining and
It is entertaining.
the people are more attractive and
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, well, they do. I mean, if you're gonna be watching something, you want to watch it. You don't want to be watching some ugly people on there.
Imagine if Roger Ailes like showed up on Fox every once in a while, like Alfred Hitchcock or something. He's just like there on Fox, like
sweating.
Hello, welcome to the show. I just want to say hello to everyone. I'm the boss.
Well, I think Fox News is better too because
they're doing a movie on that. Oh my gosh,
it's already done. I think
they did a movie on that with fucking
Russell
John
Crowe.
Lithgow as the character.
Oh, I thought Russell Crowe was John.
There must be two. There's one like Bombshell, and then there's another one.
Oh yeah, Bombshells. Well, that's actually about Megyn Kelly, not Roger Ailes. But
well, they're doing one with Roger Ailes. I should.
That's
say.
already done. That's the Russell Crowe one.
Yeah, insane. Like wow, like so much propaganda nowadays. It's insane.
Yeah, and that's why I prefer to watch.
And it's
Fox
coming
News
way sooner than it used to.
Because Fox News isn't just about hating Trump 24/7. Like they actually talk about other things. And
also, they're doing a movie based on that controversial best-selling memoir, A Million Little Pieces. I looked at that title. I was like, wait, that's A Million Little Pieces. Like that's that book, right?
That's the one the guy lied about.
That dude.
Yeah.
From Oprah.
Well, I think they're doing a story about him.
And they're doing a movie about it.
Well, I think they're doing a movie about him lying. I think it's about his lie. I don't think it's necessarily a dramatization adaptation of the novel. I think it's...
I'm just like, wow, everything is eventually going to be a movie. It's insane.
Well,
except Frankly Case, which would be the best movie ever.
I just hope he's getting no money for it. That's my issue.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve to benefit off lying.
That's my issue with it too. Is like, don't they have to get rights to that? Oh, this is a big mess. It's another Wall Street Wolf of Wall Street.
I would be
situation.
okay for him to make some money off the rights, and then they just tell their own story. Like that would be hilarious. Because like they buy the rights for his book, he gets some money, and then they just tell a story about him lying. Like like that's.
I think a lot of people felt that way about the I, Tonya movie. Like if she had anything to do with it, that's
she didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And they interviewed her and everybody involved, and that was alive in the movie.
I would hope she didn't sign off on that. It didn't make her look that
well, she signed off on it, and she actually didn't have a problem with the movie. She was fine
I'm sure
with it.
like
because the movie didn't make her look bad. It kind of put her in the victim's role. Yeah, she did interview for it, I think.
I remember, what's-her-face was really upset about it. You know the one.
Nancy Kerrigan. No, she wasn't. She wasn't upset about it either. She
was fake upset. She was fake upset in an interview. I saw it. I could link it, whatever. But, she was like, oh, they did a movie about her, and whatever.
I guess because she hadn't seen it, and I don't think she realized what the movie was actually what the movie was.
You're not even in the movie, girl. You're barely in it.
She's in it very briefly, yeah.
You're barely there, girl.
And I think and then there's someone saying like, if you want your story told, then tell your story. Like that's true. We're telling Tanya's story because she's more.
Someday
interesting
we'll hear
than you.
Donald Trump's story from Donald Trump.
I don't know, maybe
when he has his own media corporation.
Well, I think he's done with that, but I am.
Well, we don't know.
Well, I always tell you, I think it's an interesting thing that Donald Trump will be the first president we've ever had that when he's done being president, he's going back to work, and that he has a job. And I think
they gave him, and then they gave him shit about his current one.
Well, he's got a job, and so he's already ready to go after the presidency is over to go back to working for Trump Worldwide and doing the rest of whatever he was doing.
I mean, he's doing business while he's president anyway. Which is not it's abnormal for the president technically, I guess, because the vice president usually does that shit like Dick Cheney. But once you let other people do it, you can't be upset.
Well, and I also think we have never had a president that has been so involved in the working sector.
Yeah.
Before they became president.
Real
they were
estate.
all kind of lawyers or senators. Like they never really.
We didn't have a real estate guy until now.
Well, we didn't have a business guy until now.
Yeah.
None of them had ever run their own businesses. I mean, George
man.
W. Bush ran the Texas Rangers, I guess, but that was more of a glory thing. And Trump has actually been working and has a job, and so it's different. You can't name a president that went to work after the presidency was over. Even Obama did. I mean, where were they? Because you ask her, what are they going to do?
Is Jimmy Carter going to go back to his farm? His peanut farm?
Jimmy Carter did not go back to his peanut farm.
That is not a good expression of him at all.
But
I don't know what I was going for.
At least he's doing something productive.
He's one of the ones where I say, like, he's atoning as much as he can.
Well, he's got to be atoning for something
his
huge for all the shit he's doing, man. He's making it up for something big.
Oh, he's done some shit. Like, that guy, I can't pronounce the name of, Zibadunu. You know, the guy, Brzezinski, like the dad of Mika from Morning Joe.
No.
He was the right-hand guy for all these wars with Jimmy Carter's administration.
Yeah, and I think Jimmy needs someone to walk him through those things, and I think he put a rubber stamp on a lot of stuff. I don't think he's a bad dude.
He let that guy have too much power, I think.
Well, I think he needed to because he didn't understand.
They all do. He
didn't understand it. Like I was listening to a Howard Stern show from 2008 the other day, and it's interesting. Well, I was listening to it because that's the year of the Obama.
I know
Clinton primaries and
that awesomeness.
Yeah, but it was interesting to hear Howard talk about it because he starts talking about why he wants to vote for Rudy Giuliani because he really likes him. And he's like, because he's a New Yorker, and he's like, Rudy Giuliani's a New Yorker, and I like him. He's a friend, and he wants to put this tax plan in place where he cuts corporate taxes, and the corporations will use that money to reinvest in their businesses. Now that sounds really familiar to me, right? That's Trump's tax plan. So it's like I started realizing, okay, well that's not even Trump's tax plan. That's Giuliani's tax plan, and that makes sense because Giuliani's such a trusted advisor to him. I could see where he was like, Rudy, I thought you'd be a great president. What kind of pointers do you have for me? Well, here, why don't you try this tax plan?
Yeah.
Right?
He just goes with whatever people...
Well, he has to because he doesn't understand how politics works. So
exactly.
He has to have...
He's not a politician.
No, he has to have people go in there.
But he is a politician when it comes to debating. And not debating, but like mudslinging and...
well, that's the easy side. That's the business side. That's easy.
And greed and all that.
That's no different than Hollywood. That's no different than entertainment. That's just kind of shit you do.
Hollywood's politicians. Just a bunch of politicians.
It's politics all the time.
Ugly-hearted, pretty people politicians.
Yeah, it's politics all the time. That's all it is.
On that note, we're going to wrap it up pretty early today. Do you have anything to say for Thanksgiving? Do you like Thanksgiving? What do you think of Thanksgiving?
I love food, so that's my favorite holiday because of the food aspect of
Food's
it.
Food's good. I'm not opposed to food.
I love food, and this year I am staying at my friend's house because she's going out of town. So
Friendsgiving.
I watch her animals.
She gave you her apartment or what have you.
Her house, yeah.
Her house.
But she's coming back on Thanksgiving Day, so she's taking me to dinner that night.
Oh, cool!
So that's kind of fun. Like I'll go. It's probably the second time in life I've ever gone to a restaurant.
We should hang
for Thanksgiving.
out. Friday, I'm available.
Maybe I might be working on Friday.
Okay.
But
I like to put people on the spot.
Well, I think because I might help out in the comic book shop on Friday. Maybe. I don't know. I know Saturday they have a thing, so I got to go shoot that.
I have work on Saturday.
But I don't mind Thanksgiving. I like food. I like making food. I like cooking. So
I wish I liked cooking.
I don't really care. Like I prefer to cook on Thanksgiving. But I also like Thanksgiving because it's a secular holiday, and it has nothing to do with religion. And it's
about the harvest.
Right. It's just like, hey man, food. Hang out with your friends. Like Christmas is that kind of thing too, but it has a religious thing. But like Thanksgiving is like, hey, hang out with your friends, eat a lot, like enjoy the bounty of like where you live and your good life if you have one, and if you don't, then welcome other people. And like almost like the Jewish Seder, where it's like if you know someone who doesn't have much to be thankful for, you welcome them to your home and you feed them, so at least they can be thankful that night for your friendship and you have them. That makes sense to me. Like the pilgrims, I don't understand all that stuff. But I do.
That's the stupid story.
I do like the idea of people getting together, which is why I used to like Christmas, because at least for the majority of people around Christmas time, people get a little nicer. They're a little easier,
politer.
A little politer. They're a little more magnanimous toward other humans. I don't think we need Jesus to make us do that. I hope we don't. But whatever we can do, especially now, to sort of give people an excuse to be nicer to each other, then it's okay. And that's why I mind Christmas, because Christmas is the same thing I like about Thanksgiving, except there's also presents involved. And so that's...
I mean, I guess, people like presents. I get that. I stopped celebrating Christmas when I was like 20-something. But, I still get money because other people celebrate it,
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I don't mind like going and get some dinner or, hanging out. Like I appreciate the winter solstice part of Christmas.
Saturnalia.
Right. So I appreciate
the
that.
pagan holiday.
Where
that was
you just
stolen by the Romans.
Kind of party against the darkness and, you put up a tree and you eat some food and exchange presents and you drink. And again, if someone is not having the best
and you
time,
go knock on politicians' doors and tell them how much you are disappointed in them and you want them to change things.
None of my holidays are about work.
No, that's what Saturnalia used to be about. It's like grievances about certain things.
I like the partying part. And then, and you just like throw a party and you have a good time. And again, you bring people that are having not a great year.
Do you like rice pudding? Because I don't really do.
I like rice pudding.
I had it and I didn't enjoy it.
It
was vegan though, and it was in New York, and I don't know if that's different.
You have to have real cream in it, because you can make a rice pudding by just draining the rice and letting it sit and get really gloopy in water.
I figured there was something up with it,
and that's the vegan kind because they don't use milk. But the best rice pudding
had a coconut thing or something.
Yeah,
maybe I just didn't like the coconut.
They put the rice and all the spices.
I don't think I like coconut, and that's the problem.
They put the rice and all the spices in this big bag. And they pour hot water on it.
Pretty sure it's the coconut.
And coconut milk, and they put that in there.
I didn't like
and
it.
And it seeps through, and the juice comes out, and you drink that. And then the rice gets really...
I paid $5 for this shit.
Yeah, the rice gets really...
that was such a bit.
Waterlogged and swells in the bag, and then you have this rice pudding. And you can add cornstarch to it, too, which makes it thicker.
I don't remember if it has
to keep it vegan.
It was in a deli. I was just in a deli, and I was like, I gotta have something vegan. This says vegan rice pudding. I've never had rice pudding. Let me try it. And that was my first try.
It has a weird.
Pudding.
It's almost like tapioca. Have you ever had tapioca? It's like kind of like that, where it has a weird mouth feel.
It does.
It's so lumpy.
It's such a weird texture.
Wet.
Yeah.
But if you boil it,
I'm just not a fan of rice in general. Like I didn't like rice milk, and I didn't like rice ice cream as much as the other ice cream. So I like rice by itself.
I like rice,
like cooked, but I don't like it like raw in any other capacity.
Well, you can't eat raw rice, isn't it?
But I'm saying where it's not cooked, like with rice pudding and rice.
It's cooked with rice pudding. It's boiled.
Okay, boiled, but like not...
You gotta boil it to get the starch out.
But not like specifically like cooked rice on a plate by itself. Like it's with other ingredients that
I like steamed
kind of get in there.
Well, but even with steamed rice, you gotta put a little bit of butter in there or something, or salt.
I gotta have something on my rice.
I like soy sauce.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up in a bow and throw it out the window. I'm at ElleLatham on Twitter. He's at...
my Twitter is WDP Dixon.
And he's also got World Domination Designs on Facebook.
On Facebook. And my Facebook profile is public, so you're welcome to go message me or whatever.
Complain there.
I've never gotten a complaint. I had a friend who was a comic.
Kidding.
Who is a comic, and I would trash him on his Facebook page all the time because we just had that kind of relationship where I would fuck with him a lot.
Like me.
And so I would mess with him because the only time he got any engagement on his Facebook post is when I was messing with him. And I always looked at it like, what was the longest threads, like the most involved, and so he picked me up one day to do something because we were writing this thing together, and he picked me up and he's like, man, you got cool on Facebook. I'm like, why? So people are messaging me and they're messaging me and they're telling me, why don't you delete this fool? Why don't you get rid of him? I was like, why aren't they messaging me? I said, my profile's public. They can message me and say, hey man, cooler, like leave this guy alone. They don't, because they don't care.
Yeah.
You're lying. You're telling me people are inboxing, because we say inboxing, not messaging. People are inboxing you. No, they're not. No one's messaging you. I was like, stop lying. No one's messaging you because they'd be messaging me, telling me to shut up. I was like, and they don't, because I invite discussion and I invite debate. I said, and plus, you should be able to handle this. You're a fucking comedian. Like, why are you posting these inflammatory things if you don't want inflammatory responses? Like, no. The answer is no. And then eventually he just blocked me on Facebook. But Which is fine. That's how you should handle things. Like if you want to cut off all dissenting voices and just live in your bubble, cut people off. Just block them.
I remember a real life person who I thought was my friend, who is also a Facebook friend, and I said something bad about Hillary Clinton, and they just disappeared. I was blocked entirely.
Oh yeah, was it Jackie Kashian, the comedian? Because that's what she does.
No, it was somebody way less known, but I was just like, wow, okay, from one of the IO people.
Oh.
The IO people like to stick together against the other people who actually have a brain.
Yeah.
And knew that Hillary Clinton wasn't going to win, and tried to warn them, but they didn't listen.
That's my favorite thing now. That's not this friend I was telling
I tried to warn my mother.
This friend I was telling me gets so mad at me because I can't stand Hillary Clinton. And every time we get in an argument, she brings it up. Well, yeah, because you believe Hillary Clinton, after all this investigation of her, they found her not guilty. I'm like, no, she hid all of the evidence. I'm like,
she lied in Congress.
I was like, she is a criminal. I said, just because and I'm not saying she's not a smart woman. She's very smart. You don't have to be stupid to be a criminal. You can be a smart woman and still be bad criminal. Like
that's true.
Or you can. It's just that's
equality.
I'm like, well, that's just what it is. Like these people. I was like, the thing about Donald Trump is that he can't hide what he's doing. He doesn't understand how to do that.
He's transparent.
Well, he lived in a world where you wanted people to know you were fucking with them. You wanted people to know that you had the upper hand on them because that's how you make business. That's how you made money.
He's a mob guy.
He's a mob guy, especially. I said, and every politician's a mob person. Every single politician is a criminal. They, in some way or another, they've crossed a line.
Yeah.
I said, you had the Clintons like working with Whitewater and like practicing that real estate scam, and then you had Bill Clinton deregulating the mortgage industries and pulling this 20-year scam on the banking industry to benefit Goldman Sachs.
And the media monopoly. 1996 Telecommunications Act.
Yeah, but that was in process way before him. Like the first George Bush wanted that too.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And Ronald Reagan was working on that too, like chipping away at it. But now you have this thing now where they're talking about how the theaters, the studios can own movie theaters again. Did you read that?
What?
The new the Paramount Act being repealed out of the. So there's a law in place that pretty much said that movie studios can't own theaters because they could strong arm the theaters into showing shitty movies just so they can get a good one. But that they're getting rid of that. They're nixing it. And part of that reason is, I think part of the reason is because AMC is denying Netflix the right to put their movies in any of their theaters. So Netflix is like, well, we want to buy theaters then. Like if we can't,
they need to have a distribution.
Right, they need to put them in the theater.
Plan.
And the head of the theater union basically is complaining because they don't have the Irishman, and he's like, Netflix is really doing a disservice to the movie theater industry by not showing the Irishman in more theaters, and they're showing it just limited theaters. I'm like, yeah, but who's complaining to AMC about their monopoly and saying, oh no, you can't show it in any of our theaters? And Landmark's saying the same thing, or Regal's saying the same thing. You can't put a Netflix movie in our theater
because it's the competition. Because
of this bullshit. But now you have this guy's in charge of movie theaters complaining about it, and it's like, well, then talk to those guys. Netflix just bought the Egyptian Theater down the street, right? So they're going to revamp that whole thing, put their movies in there, and they'll probably buy. I bet you'll see them buy the Vista. I bet you'll see them buy the Los Feliz Theater.
No.
I bet you'll see them buy some of the theaters downtown that are like derelict now. And that makes sense because if you can't put your movies anywhere, you got to find a place to put them. But it had to overcome that hurdle first, where it's saying that, because they're going to consider themselves a movie studio and not a streaming service, then they can't buy movie theaters like that.
Okay.
But they are now, so I think that's very important. Because Disney owns a theater, they own the El Capitan.
Yeah, but I don't believe that they should.
Well, they only show Disney movies there, so it's not like they're competing with other studios and like.
I believe if I don't know if I should say that. I don't want to get in a whole topic about it.
Right, you don't believe what?
If I was going to say like get the capital to build your own theater, but then you'd be like, oh.
Well, then the same thing
happens.
Like the same thing. Yeah, you're still running the same problem if you build your own theater. Unless you call it.
But
the
at least
Netflix
it's on
theater.
you at that point. It's like your theater. It's not like you're buying out all these other. I don't like buying out things. I like the the idea of starting your own business.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's just more money.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm on.
Oh, what about your Grammy nominations?
YouTube.
How you doing?
Oh
with that?
shit, the fucking Grammys.
No, I was gonna say the.
You had me forget that.
Well, I was gonna say that my whole point is that I don't know any of the I don't know any of them, and I don't.
That was my issue with it. Is that in some categories, like the major categories, you have like a couple of unknowns, and then these big ass superstars. It's like I don't think these are the same, but okay.
No Taylor Swift though.
Taylor Swift is there. She's got The Lover.
But not in the two big ones. An album
She
song.
is an album of the year.
Oh, I just read that she wasn't.
I think she is. I'll have to... I'm going to...
Yeah, I just read that she got snubbed out of the two major categories.
Okay, maybe she wasn't. But she got pop vocal album, so she's not going home empty-handed. Nomination-wise. I feel like it'd be easier to just look up her IMDb. Sometimes just go to IMDb and just like look up the person and you'll get their Grammy
nomination. Type in Taylor Swift Grammy and
or you could
Taylor Swift Grammy 2019 or 2018 or whatever.
I mean, she has a page, so why not? Let's see. I might come empty.
Exciting radio.
She was in the Lorax? What? Okay.
She is a Lorax. She's like a human and a ferret breeded. See? Well, don't even worry about it. You can go and look it up yourself.
This site sucks. I think they don't like that I have a private browser and they fuck it up all the time.
No, they don't care.
Anyway, whatever. She got nominated. One of the album of the years is an EP, which is called 7 by Lil Nas X, which is very interesting because I didn't know EPs were... I guess that's the future. Is like EPs, 7 tracks, 6 tracks, till it's like 5 or 4 or 3 are going to be nominated for Grammys against 12 song albums, 15 song albums. Seems fair. Seems like a fair distribution of songs for each artist.
Okay, she does have a song of the year.
She has song of the year for a song that I've never heard on purpose. And then Old Town Road is nominated for Record of the Year, I think. And Panini is nominated for something. And I'm like, what? Panini? Nobody... I mean, people cared about Panini, but not that much. Come on.
Yeah, she got bumped.
He's in the Illuminati, so he gets all these categories.
She got bumped at album of the year.
She did get album?
No.
Okay, but you know who did? Beyonce. So, like, the Illuminati queen puppet will be recognized no matter what. And
she would just list them, you know.
Okay, and then Dudamel got nominated for a Grammy for Sustain by Andrew Norman, and he also got nominated for a Grammy. So that's all I care about, because that's to do with my work. And the LA Phil got nominated, and that's all I give a shit about on that front. So that's what helps my job. But that's it. That was Best Orchestral Performance.
Well, I know you're a huge Lizzo fan, so...
Oh my gosh, what is with her? I don't understand the love of that. She's like a new Travis Scott for me. Like, I don't
she's
get
a
it.
new Meatloaf.
No, I don't get it. I don't get the Travis Scott love, and I don't get her love. She's not good at singing.
I get her thing. She's definitely got a spirit. No, she's not a good singer, but she...
At all.
Hides it behind these theatrics. That's what I'm talking about, Meatloaf. Like,
maybe she's better at flute. I haven't heard her flute playing.
Her flute's good.
So
I mean, that's her big thing. I think I hear people practicing a flute near my house because of that. So.
And a lot of her songs on that album were just like, I'm a woman, I'm fat, and what about that?
Yeah.
You know, like...
I'm a bitch or whatever.
This is kind of like me doing an impression of her.
It's a good one. You could see that you would it's a good Lizzo.
I feel like she could totally sing those lines.
Well, I listened to a few of her songs, so I had to understand like what people were talking about, and again, I heard a good Broadway voice, like not a singing voice, but a good like belter, like Meatloaf, right? Meatloaf is not a good singer, but he has a good voice, and he's able to hide it behind these theatrics and like these really weird lyrics and a positive attitude, and she picked that up, man. She wears the cape, she has the big butts around, she's like, plays the flute, she does this kind of bullshit. And I think that's the kind of music people respond to now, is because it's simple.
The woke politics. What
It's
people
well,
love,
and positive,
love her.
a positive attitude.
Body positivity people.
And not just a body positivity. It's also like a mental attitude that's positive.
And hating men, you know.
Hating men, loving oneself. People like that shit.
Oh yeah, that's
so.
the new thing, is like love yourself, like appreciate your body. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
so
blah. You're
that's
perfect.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I think she has more entertainment value than like a Lil Nas X. Like, I think her songs have more value than Old Town Road. Like, it's
Sure.
you know, and so I think they're more, and plus she has a personality is pretty attractive. Like, she's a funny person. She's like kind of a very free person.
She thanked Hillary Clinton for putting her song out there in a
That
campaign
well, she
thing.
should. I mean, put Hillary Clinton, put your song out there. You're gonna pick up some bucks.
She seemed to like her.
Yeah, I'm sure she does, because who else is she gonna like? You know, like you can't like a Republican. There's non-Republicans anyway.
Oh, but did you notice all the people? You probably don't have as many people who are Bernie centric as I do in my life.
I'm in the comedy world. Yeah, I've got plenty.
Okay, so like Ariana Grande said she liked Bernie Sanders, and everybody went and had a fit about it. It's just like, if that were the other way around, if it was like Ellen DeGeneres like came out in support of Hillary Clinton or whatever, whoever
Or
the
sat
fuck,
next to George W. Bush.
or yeah, whatever, and Justin Timberlake and his wife, blah blah blah, are hanging out with Hillary Clinton. Then it's like, ew, shut up, celebrities telling me who to vote for. But when it's my guy, I like it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
It's just such a contrast.
It is, but I think that Bernie is the outsider candidate, I guess, if you want to put him that way.
Like Will Ferrell once wanted to vote for Bernie before he went.
And I
to
would
her.
say, if you're not going to vote for Warren, vote for Bernie, because it's almost like what I felt about Obama. I think,
Yeah, but they're not going to let him win, just like they didn't let him win last time.
Well, we'll see what happens. Bill Clinton somehow won, so.
And if they do let him win, there's a reason for it. He's capitulated and done what they wanted.
Maybe. I feel
That's
like
what history tells me.
I feel like the same way I felt with Obama, where I didn't necessarily agree that Obama should be president, but I felt like he needed to be president because I think people needed that palate cleanse from.
I don't
old
think
white
we
men.
needed all the bombs.
Well, I don't think anybody knew that was going to
And the
happen.
immigration
right? You don't know.
situation.
None of us knew that was going to happen, but I think people needed that change and the psychic change, and not just that thing. But
really
I mean,
that
they
much
don't
of a
realize.
change.
I mean, they don't realize. Well, it was. I mean, it was definitely like a break from what we'd had. Psychically.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to believe this guy was telling the truth, and then he wasn't, and then he was lying behind our backs.
Right, we learned all about that after he was
And then
done,
we
but-
found out he was a piece of shit in 2013, but then some of us were, or 2012, and then in 2012, the election, we were like, fuck it, what else do we have? And most of us voted for him again, to our detriment. And then everything went to shit again. And we're in this Syrian mess, and we're in this Yemen mess.
Well, we're trying to get out of it, right? But the liberals don't want it.
Yeah, they're too sad about Turkey.
The Kurds, like, who gives a fuck? But no one gives a fuck about the Kurds. Like, no one cares. And I'm listening to, because you're listening to Howard Stern shows from 2008.
We have gone on too long.
Listening to the Howard Stern shows from 2008, they're talking about Syria.
Seriously?
And Barack Obama is like, you know, he's in the primaries at this point, and he's basically talking about ending the Syrian wars and like pulling our troops out. And people really love that idea, and Howard loves the idea, like they all love the idea of everybody coming out. And then when it actually happens, they get really mad. But I think that why they get mad is because their stocks are suffering.
Right.
Their investments are suffering.
Yeah.
They're all invested in these defense contractors.
Exactly.
They're all invested
They
in
don't
these
tell you that. They don't disclose
arms
that.
makers. And we have a general come out and say, this is the worst thing ever. Well, yeah, because your career is war. Like, what? Of course you hate the fact that, you know, and they're like, well, he pulled him to Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is paying us money. Good. We're not paying the money. We're not paying to have our troops out there. The troops are kicking it in Saudi Arabia. They're not doing anything. They're just kicking it in the desert, dude. Like, chilling in Saudi Arabia, not fighting a war, not fighting IEDs, not fighting ISIS rebels. Like, they're just chilling in
Which were
Saudi
created
Arabia.
by a vacuum left
Right.
by the U.S. military.
They're just chilling in Saudi Arabia, paid for by the Saudi government, protecting the oil, which is there, but not really doing anything. I'm sure they all would rather be in Syria blowing themselves up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is the problem? What is going on here where you can't do the right thing? And, you know, people are so on Obama and Clinton, Secretary of State about Syria and how we should never be there and what are we doing there and the U.S. should pull out and blah, blah, blah. And they do, and they're like, oh, the Kurds. Like, stop it. Just stop it.
Just stop. Speaking of stopping, let's stop this podcast. That feels like a good outro. And also, check me out on YouTube where I'll post the clip of the interviews. I wish the audio was better. This is probably the best it's going to be, and I don't want to edit anymore, so whatever. So check that out on YouTube. I'm akaElleLatham, also known as Latham. And so thank you so much for, yes. So thank you so much for listening, and have a pleasant Thanksgiving, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye now.
That's Thanksgiving.